Welcome back to Brittology. Today we're diving into some of the most enchanting villages in the United Kingdom. Places that feel like they've been lifted straight out of a storybook or a classic film set. These villages carry centuries of history, unique architecture, and a charm that feels almost unreal. When you walk their cobbled streets or look out at their rolling green landscapes, it's hard not to imagine you're stepping into a movie scene. Let's start with Bibury, often described as the most beautiful village in England. Tucked away in the Cotswolds, Bibury is famous for its row of weavers' cottages called Arlington Row. Built in the 17th century, these honey-colored stone cottages line a tranquil stream and look like something out of a fairy tale. Tourists come from all over the world to stand on the little bridge overlooking the cottages, a view that has been captured countless times in films and postcards. The charm of Bibury lies in its simplicity: old stone houses, lush gardens, and the sound of the River Colne flowing gently nearby. Moving to another gem of the Cotswolds, Castlecombe is a village that feels frozen in time. Known as the prettiest village in England, Castlecombe has often been used as a filming location. In fact, it was featured in movies like Stardust and Warhorse because its streets are free of modern intrusions. No streetlights, no billboards, no cables crossing above. It feels authentically medieval. Walking through the market cross at the center of the village, past the old cottages with their flower baskets and stone walls, you can imagine knights, merchants, and villagers going about their lives centuries ago. Then there's Portmeirion in North Wales, which is unlike any village in the UK. Built in the 20th century by Sir Clough Williams Ellis, Portmeirion was designed in the style of an Italian coastal town. Its colorful pastel buildings, piazzas, and lush gardens make you feel as though you've been transported to the Mediterranean. It became world famous thanks to the TV series The Prisoner. But even if you've never heard of the show, the village itself is an otherworldly experience. Brightly painted houses, domes, towers, and fountains give it a surreal cinematic quality. Another place that looks like it belongs in a film set is Clovelly in Devon. This fishing village is perched on a steep hillside that leads straight down to the harbor. What makes it so unique is that cars are not allowed in the village. Instead, goods are transported using sledges that slide down the cobbled street. Walking through Clovelly feels like going back in time. With its whitewashed cottages, hanging flowers, and views over the Bristol Channel, it has been a favorite subject for artists and writers for centuries. And once you stand on its narrow streets, you'll see why. Heading to Scotland, we find the village of Tobermory on the Isle of Mull. If you've ever seen photographs of brightly painted houses reflected in the water, chances are you've seen Tobermory. Its colorful waterfront buildings look almost like a children's storybook illustration. Each house is painted a different shade, from bright yellows to deep blues and reds, creating a cheerful cinematic scene. Tobermory is also known for its distillery, producing fine Scotch whiskey, and for its role as the setting of the children's TV show Balamory. Whether you know it from television or simply as a scenic harbor, Tobermory is undeniably picturesque. Another Scottish treasure is Culross, a village in Fife that looks as though it has been preserved from the 16th and 17th centuries. Many of its houses are painted in distinctive ochre yellow, with red-tiled roofs and wooden beams. The cobbled streets and old marketplace were used in the filming of the TV series Outlander, giving it an international audience. Walking through Culross feels like stepping into a historical drama, with its abbey ruins, the palace with its painted ceilings, and the small gardens tucked behind old stone walls. Down in Cornwall, you'll find the fishing village of Mousehole, which has often been called one of the loveliest villages in England. Narrow streets wind past granite cottages, leading to a small sheltered harbor filled with boats. The charm of Mousehole is its scale. It's small, cozy, and intimate, making you feel like you're part of a classic coastal film. During Christmas, the harbor is lit with dazzling lights, adding even more magic to the already cinematic setting. Another Cornish gem is Polperro, a village that seems to leap out of a painting. Its winding streets, whitewashed cottages, and tiny fishing harbor are tucked into a natural cove. Once known for its smuggling past, today Polperro attracts visitors who come to experience its timeless beauty. Cars are banned inside the village, so wandering through it feels relaxed and peaceful, like you've stepped into a romantic seaside movie. Back in the Cotswolds again, Lower Slaughter is another village that feels like a set for a period drama. Its name might sound unusual, but the word slaughter comes from the Old English term for muddy place. In reality, the village is far from muddy, it's stunning. The River Eye flows gently through it, and stone footbridges cross over to cottages with perfectly kept gardens. There's also a watermill that adds to the nostalgic cinematic charm. It's the kind of place where you can almost imagine hearing the clop of horse hooves echoing through the streets. One more village that deserves mention is Rye in East Sussex. Though it's technically a small town, Rye has the character of a medieval village. Its cobbled street called Mermaid Street is one of the most photographed streets in England. The crooked houses, with ivy climbing up their walls and old lanterns glowing at night, make it look like a film set waiting for actors to appear. Rye has been featured in many films and TV shows because of its perfectly preserved historic atmosphere. What makes these villages so captivating is not just their beauty, but the way they preserve a sense of history and atmosphere. When filmmakers look for places that transport viewers into another world, these villages provide the perfect backdrop. From the fairy tale charm of Bibberian Castle, Combe to the colorful joy of Tobermory and the coastal romance of Clovelly, each one has its own story to tell. The United Kingdom is full of these hidden gems, and visiting them feels like traveling not just through space but through time. They remind us of simpler days of community, of craft, and of beauty that doesn't need modern decoration to shine. Every street, every stone cottage, every harbor has its own cinematic magic, and it's no surprise that directors and writers often turn to these places for inspiration. So next time you're looking for a destination that feels like a movie come to life, remember that in the quiet corners of the UK, villages still exist where history, nature, and beauty come together in the most enchanting way.